Green Tree Productions is proud to present Duncanville Weekly News on the World Wide Web. It's the good news just for the City of Champions, Duncanville, Texas. And now, here's your host, John Thompson.
Hello world, America, Texas, and Duncanville, and welcome to this edition of Duncanville Weekly News for the first couple of weeks of May 2014. Glad you're logged on and watching. As you can see, we're back in the Panther dugout, and Coach Fahey will be in here in a minute to tell us all about how those Duncanville Panther baseball players are doing. Also on this show, we'll give you the information concerning the Duncanville Chamber of Commerce golf tournament that's going to be coming up pretty soon. But first, local elections are right around the corner, and here's the lineup.
Local elections are right around the corner, and here's the lineup. In the district city elections, in District 2, CPA and longtime businessman Stephen Rutherford is challenging incumbent Stephen Jones, who some call a puppet. In District 4, Mark Cooks has vacated the seat, so Grady Smithy, a very experienced councilman, is running. Other candidates in the race are Lorraine Hood Jack, Ronald Dodson, if he has time, and Kimberly Beard. In the mayoral race are in combat Deborah Hodge and former Mayor David Green. District 4 Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem Mark Cooks is switching races for this election. In the school board trustee election, only 2 places are up this year for the 3-year terms. In place 4, incumbent Lewis McElroy is being challenged by Renee McNeely. And in place 5, there are 2 candidates who have both been unsuccessful at this effort a time or two in the past, Patrick LeBlanc and Elijah Granger. And this time, one of them is going to win. Election day is May the 10th, and early voting, mostly at the Duncanville Library, is underway.
Hello, I'm former Mayor David Green. I was mayor of the city of Duncanville for 8 years, and during that period, we had economic growth that we can be very proud of. We brought in about $115 million worth of new development into Duncanville. So that's equivalent to at least $10 million a year that we brought into the city in order to help us with our ad valorem tax, with our sales tax, the taxes that are important because 80% of our entire revenue coming into the city comes from residential and not business. So we really need to work on economic development, and we can do that. But besides that, it's been said all over town and all over the contacts that I've made throughout the Metroplex that Duncanville seems to be a broken city. And we need to remedy that situation. We need to elect a council who can work together, who can understand that they will have differences, but at the end of the day, when the vote is taken, after they've made their considerations and voted in a certain way, we could all go out and have a cup of coffee together. As it is now, we have a split council who does not operate in that manner. In fact, they're at each other's throats at many times, even on television, and certainly in their closed sessions. So I would like to see that remedied. I've always told the council when new members were coming in, look, study the issue. Look at all avenues and figure out what's best for your city, for Duncanville, Texas. Vote your conscience, and then we'll all go get a cup of coffee together. But this has not occurred in the past 2 years. I want to remedy that. And we need to understand what a city manager council form of government is. And if we do that, we can get back and draw it together and really operate and make Duncanville a place that we want to live, work, and raise a family. Until we do that, we have employees who are looking for jobs, even those who are still here. They're looking for jobs now, and the morale of our employees is very, very low. We've got to change that, and we can change it if we will elect people who are committed to working together and not bringing in various single issue items that they want to see done. So at this time, it's very important that we change the direction that Duncanville is going. So I would ask that you would vote for David Green. Vote early. Early voting starts on April the 28th and goes through May the 6th, and then Election Day is on May the 10th. So I would appreciate your looking at this as a very, very important election for our city for the future. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hello, my name is Janice Savage Martin, and I'm a director of the Duncanville Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. And we are at the beautiful Golf Club of Dallas, where we will be hosting the 17th Annual Golf Classic. The Golf Classic will be held on Monday, May 19th, beginning at 11 o'clock with registration and lunch provided by Subway. I always make a great team member, and this is why. In addition to fabulous door prizes, we'll have putting, chipping, and longest drive contests for both men and women. After we finish golfing, there will be a meal provided by the Golf Club of Dallas. And it'll be a beautiful day, just like today. That one was too easy. That is why I am such a good team player. Now, let me show you why I am not. And remember, the Chamber of Commerce Golf Classic is on Monday, May 19th. For more information, call 972-780-4990. Do those to the right. There are several sponsorship levels that you can choose from. You can form your own team, or if you're an individual and want to come join, please do so. For more information, remember to call the Chamber at 972-780-4990, and the different prices are available at the bottom of the screen. Now that one of my partners got me here to the middle of the fairway, watch this. Gosh, it is so windy. That was good. I don't need to tell you that I sunk that putt for a birdie. We hope you come out on Monday, May 19th to the Golf Club of Dallas and join us. We have a good time. Thank you.
It's springtime in Texas, and that means Duncanville Panther baseball right here on Duncanville Weekly News and the Panther Dugout Show. The Panther Dugout Show brings us highlights of the past few baseball games and a peek ahead to the next games. The Panther Dugout Show features DHS head baseball coach Scott Fahey and is brought to us by James Memorial Chapel, the Pope Financial Group of Raymond James and Associates, the Wolverton Company, by Leon Miller Commercial Properties. Call Leon at 972-709-7181. Chubby's Restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on Cockrell Hill Road.
Ambit Energy. You have power options. Call Energy Specialist Don McBurnett.
And now in the Panther Dugout, here's John with Coach Scott Fahey.
Hello, Duncanville baseball fans, and welcome back to the Panther Dugout Show. As you can see, Coach Scott Fahey is here, and we're going to tell you about the last two games. Going into those two games, things were still a little up in the air for the Panthers. They could finish third, or they could finish out of the playoffs. They needed to win one of these two games against Timberview or Midlothian, and it was an interesting week. And Scott, tell us what happened.
All right. To Mansfield to face the Timberview Wolves. There we are meeting with the umpires and the head coach from Timberview, and a bright sunshiny day with a view from the first baseman and second base side, just staring right into the sun if you're trying to catch balls from the third baseman or shortstop or even left field. Pretty tough sun at Timberview. But nonetheless, we brought a good crowd with friends, family, and a few college coaches and some community members. We ended up filling it up pretty good. In the top of the third, with no score, Oscilinas draws a walk. Later in the inning with one out, TJ hits a ground ball that is misplayed at first, which puts runners at first and third. Zach then comes up and hits a single in the right field. That plates a run to make the score 1-0 Panthers. A hit by pitch to Jordan Daly loads the bases with one out as the umpire comes out to make sure no extracurricular activities take place. And that's followed up by a single through the left side by Tony Dominguez to plate another run as the bases remain loaded. Tanner Holt then lifts a sacrifice fly into center field. That scores Zach from third base, and the Panthers leave the third with 3 runs. In the top of the fifth, with the score still 3-0, a leadoff walk to Red, a stolen base, and then a bunt by Jordan gives us action with Zach at third base. Jordan hustled down the line and just barely got thrown out. Tony then singles back through the middle with a drawn-in infield. That plates Zach from third. And the Panthers now lead 4-0. That was Tony's second hit on the night. In the top of the sixth, we pick up action with a Zach Red single down the right field line. At this time, it scores 4-2 Duncanville. That puts runners at the corners for the Panthers as they mount a late game rally. Then with 2 outs, we run a first and third double steal. That plates TJ from third as the catcher and the ball ends up in the center. After 5.5, Panthers lead 5-2. Still 5-2 in the top of the seventh. Tony gets a leadoff walk. They probably figured out he's going to get a hit anyway, so just walk him. We pinch run Jonathan Leon at first. And we have some more good execution by the Panthers as Tanner Holt lays down a good bunt down the first baseline. They throw to first to get him out. Sauceda then walks to put runners at first and second. And then recent call-up, Alex Sanchez hits a ground ball through the left side to load the bases with 1 out. That's Sanchez's first hit on varsity. Oz then hits a ground ball that gets kicked around a little bit by the second baseman. They can't turn a double play, and as a result, Leon scores from third to make the score 6-2. And then with 2 outs, in the bottom of the seventh, game ends with a called strikeout by Jordan Daly, and the Panthers solidify third place in District 7-5A. It's the first playoff appearance since 2009, and couldn't be more excited for the kids and more proud of the kids. They played great down the stretch, and this victory put us in third.
James Memorial Chapel is the only family-owned funeral home in Duncanville and is proud to offer caring and dedicated services from familiar friends. Rick James and his family, the owners of James Memorial Chapel and Funeral Home, have served Duncanville area families in their time of loss since 1998. A beautiful and spacious chapel is offered, and James serves all cemeteries. When it comes to finding people you can trust in a time of need, you can turn to James Memorial Chapel. No one else knows families better. 811 South Cockrell Hill in Duncanville.
Panthers wrapped up district play by traveling to Midlothian to face the Midlothian Panthers. Umpires are discussing the fact that this game has no playoff implications, but nonetheless it's a chance to get some more at-bats and some more live looks on the game field. Another good crowd followed the Panthers to Midlothian. We've had a pretty good crowd support this year. We start senior Tony Dominguez. When we pick up action in the top of the 6th, trailing 3-0. Salinas hits a blast in the left center for a stand-up double. Midlothian staff pitched pretty good this night. That's followed by a Blake Dial walk, and then 2 strikeouts and a pop-up later strand the runners at first and second. Panthers trail 3-0, leading in or headed into the top of the 7th. Score still 3-0 as Sanchez draws a leadoff walk. We pinch run Tyler Gottfried at first, and Tanner Holt then hits a ball down the right field line past the diving first baseman. This moves Gottfried all the way to third. And the Panthers begin a 7th inning rally against Midlothian. With runners at the corners and nobody out, David Cron draws a walk to load the bases. As the Panthers put the tying run at first, we put courtesy runner Jonathan Leon at first, and 2 outs later, Blake Dial drives in the first Panther run with a single back to the middle, which scores Gottfried from third. And with the bases still loaded, TJ Giselbach hits a ground ball back through the middle, which ends up tying the game with a slide at the plate by Oz Salinas. Dial comes to third on the throw as Giselbach advances to second, with a score tied at 3 in the top of the 7th. Then in the bottom of the 7th, with 2 outs, Midlothian hit a single back to the middle. And then with a man on third, we get a balk call by the home plate umpire, which ends the game controversially. But that's how it ended up, with the Midlothian Panthers winning this one 4-3. He didn't balk. TJ didn't balk on the mound, but doesn't matter what we think. Umpires called it. Nonetheless, the Panthers scratched and clawed and put together a good rally in the 7th, made a game of it. And this is what the play looked like Sunday night on Channel 8's High School Sports
Winning the regular season finale, that would be nice. Midlothian has a 3-zip lead going to the 7th, but Duncanville loads the bases and Blake Dial singles to center to get home a run. Tanner Holt, well, he's going to come on down for the Panthers. So there goes the shutout, and we got a 3-1 ball game. Next up for Duncanville, looking to do damage, TJ Giselbach. He sends a pitch back up the middle. This time, 2-run score. We go from 3-0. Now we're all tied at 3 apiece. Ball game essentially starting over. Midlothian gets to the bottom half of the 7th without any more damage and 2 outs. Matt Heck, he sends a shot deep to center. Now, it won't leave the park, but it's plenty to get Zach Humphreys home from third. It looked like a walk-off double. But let me show you the replay and watch what happens closely. Look at the umpire. The ump actually calls a balk on the Duncanville pitcher. Either way, a run scores for Midlothian, and they get the win 4-3 over Duncanville.
Last play of the game, you may have noticed the field umpire with hands on his knees, staring right at the pitcher, just trying to check for a balk in that type of situation. It ended up being called a balk by the home plate umpire, which in that type of a game, or any type of a game, you'd rather that result end up being determined by a high school player versus high school player instead of an umpire wearing a mask and a blue shirt. Nonetheless, it was a bad break for the Panthers, but it is what it is. We told our kids after the game that things like that are going to happen. It shouldn't happen, but we were proud of them for playing hard and scratching and clawing back. It's a controversial call, but we'll move on. We'll learn from it, and we'll keep fighting.
Well, it certainly was an interesting finish to a game. Each week we have a play of the week, and Scott, what is it going to be this time?
Well, this week it's going to be the strikeout to end the game at Timberview with Jordan Daly on the mound. The score is 6-3 and 2 strikes on the batter. It's a big win for us. It clinched third place in District 7-5A, and that's why it's the Panther Play of the Week.
The Play of the Week is brought to us by Don and John Pope, the Pope Financial Group of Raymond James and Associates, right here in Duncanville at 222 East Wheatland, 972-780-0533.
So district action is over, and Scott, show us the final results.
Well, this year the district champion is Mansfield with a 13-1 record, and I might mention that their only loss was to the Duncanville Panthers with a walk-off win in the bottom of the 8th. Midlothian finished in second at 12-2. The Panthers of Duncanville finished in third at 9-5. There was a tie between South Grand Prairie and Cedar Hill for fourth. Both were 7-7. South Grand Prairie ended up winning a one-game playoff to advance into fourth place and earn a playoff spot. Sixth place was Timberview at 5-9. Grand Prairie finished 7th at 3-11. And DeSoto was 0-14, finishing in 8th place. So for the first time since 2009, the Panthers will head to by-district playoff action. Our opponent's going to be Waco Midway. They're a perennial playoff team out of the Waco area. They were the second place finisher in District 8-5A. They got good players, we have good players, and we're going to tee it up and go toe-to-toe and see what can happen. Game 1 will be Thursday night at 7 p.m., followed by Friday night at 7 p.m., and then if needed, Game 3 would take place Saturday at 1 p.m. All 3 games will be played at Baylor Ballpark on the campus of Baylor University.
Well, Scott, playing at Baylor, seemed like you played a game at Baylor one time and they stopped the game because of you, but that's another story. If you get them down there and beat them, the area game is going to be between the winner of a by-district match between Flower Mound Marcus and Euless Trinity. And guess what? It'll be up here somewhere. It ain't going to be down 35 someplace. So best of luck, and let's keep it going.
Gotcha.
As we close, let's see more sights and sounds of the City of Champions, and we'll be back May the 13th.
You ready? God, that wind. Oh, man. Okay. Shoot this way.
You're going to break right or left.
No, that was good.